Slippy, Slappy, Slimmin, Swanson?
Maybe it's on the briefcase. Look on the...
Oh, yeah, it's right here. Samsonite. I was way off.
So there we have it. We now know all the new Rolex releases for 2024 and Tudor and Patek and many other brands. But of course, all eyes have been on Rolex for quite some time. And wouldn't you know it, everyone was wrong. Way off.
You know, I hate to say this, but you're all wrong.
I think it's time we admitted that we really don't know what the hell we're really talking about at all. And already the YouTubers are saying, oh, Tudor wins for this year. Finally, Tudor gave us what we wanted and Rolex let us down.
It's what I want!
I just think that's a bunch of bullshit. They clearly don't understand how any of this works. So I think it's time we all said it. Take a deep breath, everyone, after me. Watch YouTubers. Please shut the fuck up. Especially about Rolex. This episode is brought to you by Surfshark. Guys, you know I've been living abroad most of my life, but I always want to watch TV shows from back home, or when I'm traveling, I want to be able to catch up on something that was on TV or radio or whatever. That's when a VPN comes in handy. I recommend everyone get one. Surfshark is the best one. That's the one I use, and it's available for your computer, your tablet, your phone, doesn't matter. And it means you can surf the web from anywhere in the world. They have 3,200 servers in over 100 countries, so they've got you covered no matter where you want to surf from. It has extra features like incognito, which will remove data that's been left on various servers around the world to keep potential scammers away from your identity and your data and your information. It'll also let you know when there's some sort of data breach, your email, your ID, your credit card number, anything like that. You'll get an alert from Surfshark, and it'll keep any nasty folks from getting in and maybe taking over your webcam or your microphone on your computer. And it's free to try. You have a money back guarantee. If you use the promo code OISIN on your checkout, you'll actually get 3 months free. So why not give it a shot? See if you love it. I certainly do. I use it pretty much every day whenever I want to not watch Italian TV, because honestly, it's not great here. Surfshark VPN, guys, go check it out. Use my promo code.
Can we get back to our discussion, please?
So just today were the announcements from Rolex and many other brands, but I'll stick to mainly Rolex on this one and Tudor a little bit. There was a lot of conjecture, a lot of predictions and rumors in the rumor mill for many, many months at this point. And then there were some teasers over the past few days that we all saw. I covered them here on the channel also. But finally today, all of those rumors are either confirmed or squashed. Rolex hit us with a few things that we weren't expecting at all. I think the deep sea dweller in solid gold being the weirdest one. Everyone thought two things in the GMT line. They thought, one, the Pepsi is being discontinued, and two, the Coke is returning. Neither of those things were even remotely close to true.
God damn it.
The Le Mans was also discontinued. No one saw that coming, replaced with a yellow gold version, which honestly I think is every bit as stunning as the white. We have some other new Daytonas, very flashy versions, probably for the ladies or the more adventurous men out there. And of course that beautiful new 1908, which makes me drool every time I see it. Ooh. But they did release a new GMT. They didn't remove anything to make space for it. They just put it in there as extra, and it looks eerily similar, if not almost identical, apart from that grey, to the Black Beauty, the Espresso, the black on black, which is one of my favorite watches in the entire Rolex catalog history. In fact, there are a slew of releases that maybe go a little bit unnoticed because there's a lot there in the date lines, etc., etc. And if you were to look at any YouTube channel right now, today, as they all race to get the first video out, you would think that Rolex killed their kitten. The disappointment is so thick you could cut it with a knife.
You realize what you've done?
However, they're singing the praises of Tudor, the sister brand to Rolex, because Tudor have stepped up to the plate and, quote unquote, given us what we want. Just give me what I want. For one, they released a Coke, a GMT with black and red bezel and lovely kind of cream accents. I don't know if they're gold or gilt or just printed cream. And it's a very, very handsome watch. So the general feeling is that Tudor gave us what we were looking for. Rolex let us down, which is kind of ridiculous because Tudor is Rolex. They're a sister company. It's the second brand to Rolex. And it doesn't occur to people something that's been going on for years now.
Let me explain something to you that maybe you haven't realized.
Rolex are not in the business of giving us what we want. We're in the business of wanting what they give us. Rolex continue on with their expression, with their artistic ideas, and they use Tudor as an outlet for their nostalgia room. That's just always the way it's been. Can someone out there take credit for suggesting the Rolex Submariner design many years ago? Or the Daytona? Whose idea was that? Who made up the idea of the oyster case and came up with the design for the beautiful Datejust with the fluted bezel? Was it any one of you guys or anyone you know? No, it was Rolex. They lead and we follow. The Pied Piper does not follow the children. It's the other way around. This is a leader brand. And it's not only that they're leading us as fans of their brand, they're kind of a torchbearer in the entire hobby. And many, many other brands are going to follow suit and ape them at every turn.
You already ape my product at every turn.
So a torchbearer brand is not in the business of listening to their audience and giving their audience what they want. That's ridiculous. They give us stuff that we don't even know we want yet, and then we fall in love with it. That's the direction it goes in, guys, not the other. I was in the music business very heavily for over 25 years, as some of you guys know. I was a songwriter, I was in a band, and we toured all over the world. One of the arguments I would get into with friends at parties, other musicians and so on, was the old conversation about, I went to see my favorite band, but they played only stuff from their new album.
Oh, God.
They're missing the very point about what a rock band do, or any artist, a pop singer, or whoever it may be. Let me give you an example. If you find yourself at a U2 concert and they're playing only stuff from the new album, you're going to hear a lot of people complain and say, oh my God, they didn't play With or Without You or Bad or whatever song that they love from many years ago. But you have to remember that if you went back in time to when those songs were written, those songs were the songs on the new album. And in the crowd, listening to those songs being played, they were probably complaining back then too, going, what is this new song, With or Without You? I haven't heard it before. Why don't they play Sunday Bloody Sunday from their first record? The bands, the writers, the creators, the inventors can't listen to the audience. That's not how it works, kids.
What is wrong with you?
Show a little faith. Trust what they're doing. They already got you on the stuff before. Maybe there's a lot of great stuff to open your eyes to now. And as it happens, using that same analogy, Rolex has actually found the solution. It's called Tudor, and they're putting it all at a price point that is much more accessible than their crazy catalog with a $55,000 solid gold deep sea diving watch, which makes zero sense at all, but you gotta love it. I was speaking to my good friend today who owns Pop Magazine and On Plus, the magazine that featured me a couple of years ago there with all the Canali stuff. And this is a man who's very influential in the fashion world, the world of style. He's got his finger on the pulse of it for many, many years. And he's got the most amazing Rolex collection. I mean, every time I see him, it's a different precious metal, rare Daytona that I had only heard existed and never saw one in the flesh. But we both agreed that even though what Rolex did by releasing these strange, odd models and so on, and not really giving everybody what they wanted, quote unquote, is kind of cool. We want that out of Rolex. We want Rolex to not care about us and to kind of shrug its shoulders and go, I don't give a shit if you want a Coke. I don't give a shit what you want. I'm Rolex. You follow me, motherfucker. By the end of the conversation, we totally agreed that actually what Rolex did, the move they made with these releases, is completely and utterly boss. Now, onto the YouTubers. Oh boy, get me started.
Flames on the side of my face, breathing, heaving breaths, heaving.
This whole Pepsi discontinuing thing that's been out there and is up until 24 hours ago was practically lore. It was practically written in stone. Didn't come from Rolex. It didn't come from an authorized dealer. Some YouTuber or someone wrote something about maybe the Pepsi being discontinued. And then it snowballed. Now, why would it snowball? The problem really with this is a lot of these YouTubers want to talk about it just to get your attention, just to get the clicks. I've seen a horrific amount of it over the past year. Oh, is the Pepsi being discontinued? Question mark, question mark. Wait lists are over. That's the funny one, man. I want anybody who listens to that horse shit go in and try and get themselves a Daytona or a stainless steel sub or any GMT whatsoever.
I'm afraid you're in for a disappointment.
The waitlist is over for pieces that were never really waitlist before. Certain date you could probably get pretty soon. You might be able to even walk in cold and grab one right there. If it's a color no one's interested in, if it's a size that maybe is not the most popular size, that's the way it was for fucking ages. You want any model that anybody else wants, you're going to have to wait. That's called a wait list. So wait lists are not over, but that won't stop YouTubers from telling you they're over. Why? Because you'll pick up your mouse and go click, and that's what they're after. It's frankly pretty sickening, and it makes me want to run a mile from the fucking watch space on YouTube. Honestly, it's getting worse and worse. So they jumped on will the Coke come back? Will the Pepsi be discontinued bandwagon in the heaviest way? When I put out my Rolex predictions video there a couple of months ago, it was the black GMT, the one that was actually released, because that was the only one that I saw any sort of viable evidence behind. And as we speak, even today, I'm seeing videos coming out saying why Tudor delivers better than Rolex, why Tudor is the man and Rolex isn't, and so on. They don't really believe it. They're just doing it because they want you to go, yeah, you're so right. Tudor all the way. Rolex is too expensive anyway. Let me tell you something, guys. Rolex is supposed to be expensive. That's what Rolex do. They make crazy, crazy expensive, gorgeous watches that most of us can never touch or dream of. If you want something that's more affordable and it's going to fit in with, what you thought you wanted or whatever, Tudor's sitting right next door to them. Even at Watches and Wonders, they're right next to each other. Go figure. They're the same people. I went into this in fine detail many months ago when I did a video called The Final Rolex, and it was all about the Explorer 2 and how Rolex itself, for the most part, a lot of its catalog is now just a gallery, a kind of a crazy, over-the-top, blinged-out gallery of all its icons. This watch that I have on right now is a complete contradiction. It's a dive watch for diving with, but it's made out of solid gold. It makes no sense. No one would ever dive with this watch on their wrist. And as it happens, most people wouldn't dive even with the regular steel one either. They'd probably just use some G-Shock thing these days. So really you have to let go of all of those ideas. Rolex are in this kind of super kind of expensive, luxurious game. It's a high society game. And if they gave us what we wanted, that would just cheapen the shit out of their profile, wouldn't it? We don't want them to give us what we want. Truthfully, we actually don't want it to happen. The fact that Rolex will discontinue a model that's popular, like they did with the Hulk a few years ago, like they did with the Tiffany OP last year, is boss as hell. They literally don't give a flying fuck what you care about, what you want, and what the market is doing. They're outside it. They're above it. And that's one of the reasons why they're super fucking cool.
That's right. Now, say my name.
Thanks for watching the channel, guys. Thanks to all the new patrons who signed up to my Patreon. You don't know how much it means to me. You guys will be in the credits on the new upcoming Ireland video, as the other patrons were in the first episode. I hope some of you out there get to try on some of these watches. The new Tudors are very exciting, beautiful, and I can't wait to try on the new Deep Sea Dweller in solid gold. Completely ridiculous watch. Just gotta love those guys, man. They're crazy. Thanks again for watching the channel. Peace and love.